I call the member for Keppel.
To live in Keppel is to live in a part of the world that is blessed. It is beautiful and many people want to come and live there. However, we are in the midst of a housing crisis which has been caused by a lack of investment and planning throughout the decade of decline, and action is required. I'm proudly delivering for my community in partnership with my local councils in Livingston and Rockhampton, along with working with developers to ensure that more Central Queenslanders have a place to call home. Just this last week, we had the Deputy Premier join Team CQ as we sat in our community and had a sod turn for one of the Residential Activation Fund projects funded in round one. This project, joined together with the 4 other projects in CQ, will see over 4,000 homes in our region. Unfortunately, housing is not just enough, and at local schools in Farnborough, the Caves, Yeppoon and Emu Park, there is work to do to ensure safe access for our children and their families. I'm working with these families to get the planning done and the design work done so that we can get these projects on track. We need to hunt down the funding and deliver improvements for these school communities. Mr. Deputy Speaker, these are not nice to haves, these are essentials, and the consequence of growth in our community shouldn't be reduced livability for those who live there. The Tamby Road corridor is yet another example of how our community was left behind under the former government. This road, year on year, has seen increased traffic, has seen year on year increases in the population using the road, yet there was no design. There was no plan. There was no work for a vital corridor to grow to meet our growing community's needs. Alas, things that should have been done years ago are going to have to be done now with logical and rational infrastructure put in place by our team. I've heard the voice of my community. I will work with my local council, and we are going to work to make sure that we can get the design and planning for the Tamby Road corridor underway. This shouldn't have had to wait till today, but we're going to make sure that it hasn't had to wait for the years that it's passed. And in my final moments, Mr. Speaker, I would like to take note that in my community this week, we will have a funeral for a life that was lost all too soon, young Charlotte Zilm. I had the privilege of teaching her in grade 3 and again being part of her education when she came and joined us at Yeppoon State High. And the loss of her for her family and our community is grave, and I share in the grief of our community at this time. And to her family and friends, I offer my love, and just a reminder that even in these times of great darkness, when we walk together and towards the light, we will find peace. And Vala, young Charlotte.